Here is the full Easter egg guide for Ashes of the Dam in Black Ops 7 Zombies, which after completing will give you the option to equip relics in Cursed mode. So the first steps are as normal. Just go ahead and open up Pack-a-Punch, get the truck set up with Ted, and fully turn on all the POIs and power in the map. And once this is done, we can begin grabbing items. There are a few things we can grab along the way. So first, go ahead and get the Spore Jar from the kitchen counter underneath here in Blackwater. Then we can get a Tomahawk, either by bringing one in or grab a free one at Diner or Blackwater and take that into the barn in the farm and aim at the zombie's foot here hanging with the dripping blood and throw the axe at his foot to lop it off. Then throw a Molotov on it to burn it down to the bone and grab that. Then go over here to this dead horse with a little bit of red fungus and place the spore jar out here in the road with the dead horse to get this fungus growing and come back in 3 turns to get a mushroom. Make sure not to forget. Next, go to Diner and hang out, and after a short bit, the chef will show up. Go ahead and take him out and grab the freezer key and take it to the freezer here to get the abomination head upgrade for old Tessie and return to Ashwood and upgrade the truck. Now head into the fog and one-shot one of those purple rocks with the laser beam to get the little meat chunk. And if you're doing this all as fast as we are, you should have all this before the Ravager round, so wait till that round and then use the Saw Trap on some Ravagers to get the Ravager eye. Now that we have all this done, go ahead and return to the spawn around round 8, and an Uber Klaus is going to spawn in and come down from the hill over here. Go ahead and take him out. He's pretty easy, especially if you packed your weapon and got all set up, and then pick up the stabilizer chip. And don't forget the mushroom by the farm by now, because you could definitely grab that. Then return to Ashwood and use this chip on the jail cell door where you see Klaus locked up, and throw 3 stuns at him rapidly. Throw him in between the bars here where you see me aim, and if done right, you will see something floating around his head, and after a few seconds, he will stand up and fly off. Then we have to head over to the Cosmodrome with the Klaus command piece on the tactical button, and command Klaus to summon him by this machine here. And once that's done, you can go ahead and activate the scanner step, and all you got to do for this is simply stand in the red circle and don't let anyone or anything in until it's full, or you'll have to try again next round. Once that's done, grab the ether can and head to one of the 3 power stations and place it inside the machine. After a small wait, it will fill up. Now you'll have about 1:40 to run this to the next power machine and repeat this for all 3 power machines, but I think it's best to end on the farm so you can take it straight down to the box in the cellar immediately as quickly as possible. Once you use the can on the box, go ahead and head to Janus Towers if you haven't done this already and use the farm jump pad, and when you're airborne coming into farm, look for the 3 red symbols on the roof here and just notate those to enter on the box in the cellar. Once done right, you will get the necrofluid gauntlet and complete a very short lockdown using the necrofluid glove, and now we have just a few more steps knocked out and we can do more now that we have the wonder weapon. So hopefully you're keeping up and have done this as early as possible. So next we're going to wait until round 16 to get the first bear, and then make sure the bear is killed with Tessie's abomination beam. Don't finish him with anything but the beam, or you will have to wait a few rounds for another bear and grab that mystery tentacle item. And the last serum item we need will be the powder, which you can do anytime after getting the necrofluid glove. So go to the mirror over in Ashwood here and kill zombies with Wisp T until your wisp pops up and appears, and then it'll interact with the mirror, lighting it up. Then shoot it with the necrofluid glove and pick the powder up. Now go into Yuri's lab at Cosmodrome, interact with the white powder to make this pigpen cipher appear, and then use the key here on screen by interacting with that little powder, and then cross-reference your 3 items to the ones on the key and interact with them in the order they are on the chalkboard. If you mess up, you can retry again next round, and once done right, you'll be able to draw blood into the vial and start a little lockdown. Be careful, as this is pretty fast and you're going to be weakened. It's kind of like the one on Tomb for golden plates. Just use the Necro Glove AoE attack here in the corner and you should be fine. I've never went down standing here spamming. So once that's complete, the Cosmodrome is ready for the next step. So now head out to the fog areas with Tessie and your squad and be ready to use the wonder weapon to grab some very hard to see keys out in the distance. It does not matter what order you get the keys, but there's one in Orda Graveyard, one in the crashed rocket, and one over in the sunken ship. So go to whichever one you want first, and you're going to need to use the Necro Glove and run it back to Ashwood. Just be careful because each one's going to have a random weird debuff like walking slow, having your melee only, or draining your health to plague you while returning. Keep the gang and Tessie close. That gets you to the Ashwood little pyramid the fastest, and the sunken ship key will be in a few places. So here's a screenshot of the 3 spawns that's been found in the sunken ship, and here's where I found it. Then over in the crash rocket, it can be here in these locations shown in the screenshot, but I found it over here. And lastly, the Order Graveyard is tricky and my least favorite, but it's in one of these locations in the image, and I actually found it in the T-Rex head above, but I didn't notice until I looked down later. So make sure to look after using every retrieval shot to make sure that you didn't miss it. Each one of the keys must be returned, and once that is done, a fake small cutscene will play. Once that is done, you will get the final vehicle upgrade after that cutscene, which we can use to upgrade at Ashwood. Now that we have the upgrade, go ahead and aim at the big clock that's appeared in the sky here above the bridge in Ashwood, and if done right, you're going to hear a clock bell chime. Now from what I can tell, you only get one of these per round, so make sure to do these correctly and follow along. So some of these steps may also require more than one charge, so make sure to be ready to bounce back and forth between Ashford and each of the following POIs to pace yourself through these rounds and don't go too fast. So having somebody hold a zombie will definitely help. So go ahead and use the gauntlet and shoot it at the face of the clock and use the retrieval shot to charge the glove purple. Then go ahead and go to any of these areas, but I think the order I go in is best. So go ahead and head to the Cosmodrome and knock this one out. So we're going to aim at the spinning arrays you see here. Go ahead and shoot the first one and it should slow down if you did it right, and then go get one more purple shot and hit the other array. Once both are hit, go ahead and go into the comms room here and we got to solve a puzzle, but luckily I've got a link to give you guys as well as a key. So first go to this little comms computer here in comms and look for the clue on which word it's going to be. So here you can use a pig pen decipher or use the decoder on this site here. Just start punching symbols in and trying to figure out which one of the 4 words it's giving you by trying to find the first letter. It's going to give you a 6-letter word and it's going to be one of the 4 words here on screen like rocket or engine. Once you figure out which word it is, just use the key here on screen again to go ahead and punch that in by shooting the red buttons on the computer to match the sequence. Go ahead and take that word and enter it on the TVs, and then that is done. You will see the Cosmodrome slightly change, and that will mean that everything's ready for the next step. So go ahead and get another purple shot and go ahead and head to Diner. Every other round there'll be some lightning striking around the diner, so you'll want to go ahead and use the purple shot on the clock above the garage to stop the time. Now this specific one I cannot do without using multiple charge shots, just so you know. So once this happens and you paused it, go ahead and use Tessie to ram the trucker awake over here and go ahead and walk him up to the roof of the gas pumps to the electric. Then quickly as you can go down to the garage and summon Klaus in the garage and have him stand next to Lidar here, and he'll wake this guy up and go ahead and take him to the roof of the garage. And then lastly, you'll need to go into the diner and use melee macchiato on the register here, and when you punch it, the waitress will wake up, and then you'll need to run her up to the diner roof. And again, I had to do this in multiple charges, and you may have to as well because this is timed. And once that is done, we can move on to the second to last area. Next, head to farm with another purple shot. This is my favorite because it's really just super easy, and check the clock behind the dining room table. Whatever time it displays, go ahead and walk to the spot on the floor where it's etched in that would match the clock. Think of the table as a clock, and the head of the table is 12 noon. So stand wherever the clock is telling you to and just stare at the dad until his head fully turns and his eyes glow. Then hit him with that purple shot and run around the farm grabbing these 4 artifacts: the one on the bed upstairs, the chalice in the bathtub in the cellar, the shelves in the garage, and the mask in the hay bale on the upstairs corner of the barn. Then locate the red circles and place the items. They're all out in the center of the farm area, and you'll have to activate a lockdown, and it's a little bit like 2 minutes to complete, and then you can move on to the final steps. So now we can go ahead and go to Blackwater and interact with the wisp on the dock. I do think it's best to have your final purple shot ready. You must do everything mentioned up to this point to get this wisp to appear, but go ahead and take the purple shot over to the projector after interacting with the wisp, and it's going to show you 4 images. Go ahead and study the 4 images, get them in the order. You're just trying to recollect the 4 buildings, so it's not anything more than just the building itself. So there's going to be 4 images and they're going to go in a specific order. So you're going to go main cabin, shed, fishing hut, and docks. Just go ahead and count whatever order they're in and go to these same 4 spots I go, just in your order, and shoot with the necro glove the movie reels that you can see here. If done right, you will see a little purple little mist. If done wrong, you'll get a slight jump scare. Once you get all 4, call in Klaus and head up to the bedroom after the wisp opens the box by the bed, and have Klaus grab that item, and he'll be ready to start the final counter whenever you are. Now this last step after starting the encounter with Klaus isn't too bad once you figure it out. Take Tessie and go to all 3 locations in the fog. So you're going to start by driving Monolith, and it is super important to note you do not want to go to any other area until you hit the 3 wisps in the area that you're in, or else it will end it and you'll have to start over next time. Think of this basically like a sprint race, and you got to hit them in the order like checkpoints on like Forza. So if you mess up, you're going to hear a grandfather clock chum, and then you'll have to go through the docks and try again next round. So drive through Monoliths, hit all 3 there, and then go through spawn into the next area like so, hit the 3 wisps going up towards the boat, and follow the path through Ashwood all the way to Lost Cabins. Once all the wisps have been hit, you'll immediately get teleported into the boss. Now, once you're in the boss, there are some things to note. First, he's going to do a ton of damage with missile projectiles, and everyone should basically just stay in the truck together, hanging out the windows and using the turret to fight him. Just make sure you're ready and have a good drive. Make sure to use shrouds, idolize, and power kegs anytime you need to repair the truck. And if I'm being honest, we've gotten smacked here quite a few times. I haven't actually even beat it yet, but we are wanting to get this guide out to you as quickly as possible so you can get to this point. And I appreciate y'all for watching this video, and I hope it helps you guys to get Ashes of the Dam done. Let me know if you have any tips for how to beat the boss, and we will have more guides soon to show more in Black Ops 7 Zombies and much more for Curse mode. So happy looting, goblins, and we'll see you on the next guide.